what's up, guys? It is 4 a.m. I'm up really late. I had to do something, take some placement exam for IU currently, and that's why I stayed up till 4. Never doing it again. I'm going to give it going to do a video earlier, but this is officially day 15, I'm guessing, either day 15 or 16 of documenting my YouTube journey. I honestly lost count, but yeah, let's get right into the video. So first up, I want to say, like, I'm an absolute doofus because this is the second, well, not exactly the second, probably third or fourth, because I actually recorded a video earlier, but the camera was facing the wrong way from me the entire time, so you hear my voice talking, but you only see the Clorox bleach that's holding up my phone right now. And yeah, I couldn't tell until afterwards because the camera is pointed away from me, so I didn't know it was in reverse, but it's fine though. And then, the second, third times they were just outtakes. I was like, yo, this wasn't as good as the first one, so I don't know why I'm doing this. So I just took the test, and then honestly, I just came back, circled around on this moment because I literally recorded it 11:30. But it's enough the yapping from me. I guess I'm telling you guys this because it segues into my like what I wanted to talk about today, which is how you can reach your highest potential. And the way you do that is actually by failing, and you could use failure to your advantage. Because the thing is, I see a lot of people in society and a lot of people in the world, they think they're idiots, but the reality, that's just not true. Like, I actually believe everyone here is smart if they just put in the work and put in the potential. Because the thing is, um, you can easily get smarter if you fail. Because a lot of people, when they fail, they take that as a negative and they take it upon themselves, whereas they're like, oh yeah, I failed. Now I guess it doesn't matter anymore, and that really just sets their life in a downward spiral. In fact, the thing is, like, the reason why they think this way is probably because of the influences around them. Because most, like, a lot of parents, they probably see their kid fail on a test and they're like, yo, what are you doing, you're such a failure. And the thing is, if someone hears that, then they're gonna think that they're actually a failure and their life will amount to nothing. And I see so many cases where the parent is just berating them about failing a test, and they never praise them for any time to get good scores on their exam. And that just leaves them depressed and not even able to try or give their highest output onto something. But the thing is, you can easily use this and become smarter. And I'll tell you why. Because unless you were born in the 93rd, 94th percentile, where, like, if you were born, like, some babies, they're already born with that genius IQ and they're in that small percentile where their brain is just really smart. Like, sorry, what I meant to say was they're just really smart and their brain is far more average, far higher than the far smarter than the average human. But if you are in that 93, 94%, you could easily adapt to the situation because for years humans have learned to adapt to survive and evolve. So uh, so what does that mean? Well, back in the old days, we always adapted to certain situations so that we don't avoid the same mistake. So in that way, when you fail, you have to use that as a positive and try and avoid doing the same mistake twice. So if you fail a test or anything in life, you gotta take that and say, hey, I failed, so what did I do wrong that time? And how can I what can I do differently in the future? But you always have to bounce back from that failure because you look at all the richest and most successful people today and they never got anywhere without actually having to fail because if everything came easy to them they would still be satisfied. That's the thing, like if you just keep succeeding, you won't ever push past your limits and you'll always stay stuck in the same spot and you'll be satisfied. And um i I know that everyone in the like I personally believe that there is no idiots. That's the thing. Like, I feel like everyone is really smart. It's just the thing is, they don't put in their absolute highest potential. Like, they don't actually put in the work that they really should do. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone can get into the Ivy League if it wasn't for the fact that they don't try unless you like there's only people with no common sense and then no and like they have a disability or something like that. But I believe that everyone is smart. It's just they when they fail they just get angry when really they should take a breather, say it's not the end of the world, and kind of move on. The only thing is if you fail like 20 times in a row, I get why you would be mad from that and your anger is understandable. But when you fail like once or twice, you can't get that upset when 10, 20 years in the future you're going in a job interview and they're going to look at your record saying, it seems like you got an F like 20 years ago. And I'm not saying, hey, yo, you should start failing now because it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is that you should just try your hardest. And if you fail, you got to move on and try and get that A the next time. And this isn't like a moment where I'm saying, oh, like the F students are the inventors. No, this is an actual lesson that you should know and and that you should probably use throughout your entire life. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, the what I talked about before in which how your parents really influence how you think about uh yeah, how your parents really influence your behavior in which you think you're a failure and stuff. Yeah, so parents, they're probably a percentage of that because they're only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is actually teachers because I believe teachers, they either make or break you. If you have a good teacher, then you're definitely going to succeed definitely in life because they really control your future. But that's the thing, most teachers are just corrupt and they don't actually care about their students because the like and I'm speaking from experience too because I literally had a teacher who literally said to my face like, yeah, I don't care if you fail or not, like this is on you. Like I'm just here to do my job, but isn't your job to make sure every student passes? So I was really confused, but that's when I realized that not every teacher is really a saint, which, yeah, like I pretty much knew my whole life, but I realized then at that point that not every teacher like wants you to pass. They just want you to follow directions and listen to them. But and the thing is, when teachers fail, they they fail you and they're like, all right, you can reassess, take the test again, but we're going to move on to the next topic with or without you. So all the students who passed, got B's, C's, A's, they already are moving to the next topic while you're still stuck behind because you didn't actually grasp that concept. And the thing is, the teacher is never going to go back to that concept. She's always going to, he or she, I mean, is always going to move on to the next concept. And hang on, just look at my notes here. But yeah, so if a teacher fails you and then like we have this letter system in education, and when a teacher marks you an F and says you're a failure, like what does that like say in that student's mind? Like the teacher's going to be like, hey, like obviously assumes that you first up didn't study enough, but they never like first assume, hey, maybe it's my fault that I didn't teach them well enough, which usually I actually agree with them on that. Like maybe the student wasn't paying attention in class or wasn't studying enough, but they never really comprehend the thought where they didn't really teach that well, so that student couldn't pass on that exam. And what does that like in the student's mind, they will think that they're it goes back and they think they're a failure, and they won't try as hard on any other exams because then they're gonna start thinking, oh, the teacher's out to get me, and well, I'm an idiot anyway, so why would I, like, no matter what I do, I'm not gonna try on any of the exams. So that's really the main problem. And most people who are smart, they most likely don't really understand the concept either because mostly if you want to get to valedictorian status, then it's mainly about rote memorization, and you really have no understanding of the concept at all because memorization, it probably t- um, takes a shorter time and is way easier to actually grasp that concept because if you think about it, once finals hit, they're going to be like, all right, we're going to recap everything we've done throughout the year and we're going to put it all in one test. Most kids, they don't actually remember that because it's the concept isn't stored in their long-term memory because and most our brains, they're designed to actually throw out useless information, and there's only rare occasions where a lot of activities just are stored in that long-term memory, in which it's like riding a bike or driving a car, and we know how to do that because of repetitive actions. Yet the thing is, we're not actually learning these concepts every day, right? So what happens when we move on to the next topic? We obviously will forget it, right? So when finals hit, those kids are going to have 1 to 2 nights maximum to cram everything. Obviously, they have more, but you get my point. So, that's really just the problem with the education system. And what did I write down? Sorry, guys. But yeah. So I guess I gotta wrap it up, but I think like the education system, it should really change it as a whole, because we shouldn't really like berate students that much, because then they will really take that upon themselves and they won't try harder. Because I think the school should make it so that every student succeeds, and even when the time comes and the student still doesn't want to work, then I will like then that would be the student's problem. But for now, right now, I actually think it's more on the education system's fault, where they kind of leave a lot of students behind, where they don't know many concepts, and they really get left behind when a lot of other people, they move on without them, which I don't think is that fair. So we should definitely change the education system as a whole. And even though, like, here is a message to everyone out there, even though we can't really change the education system as of now, if you ever get an F or like a failing grade, then you should like you should definitely get an A the next time. Like, do whatever you can to pass, because you actually have to prove everyone wrong. Like, you have to make it so that grade is personal to you. So whatever you do, you have to reach your highest potential and just work your ass off in order to pass the next time. So that way you can tell everyone that you're not a failure. But yeah, I think that's about it. So um I I you probably noticed that I was quiet the whole time, and yeah, it's around 4 a.m. I told you everyone's asleep, but I'm not exactly in my house right now, so I am actually recording in my cousin's room. I think I'll uh post uh I'll post in my room around 2-3 days. But yeah, uh I think that's about it. um I will probably see you guys for day 17. Also, I apologize for stuttering. It's like I have to be careful and being quiet, and also I'm really tired as it's 4 a.m. But yeah, see you guys.